Hi everyone, it's Rabbi Jaffe. I thought that during these anxious times, and perhaps with some of you considering not coming to the synagogue as much, I might bring the teaching to you. And so for this Shabbat, I'm going to be sharing a short teaching from the Talmud having to do with the idea of pikuach nefesh. That is the Jewish ethic of prioritizing saving a life over all other things. I thought that might be especially meaningful during this period. So I'm first going to turn to Leviticus chapter 18, verse 5, where I'll read here from the text. Ushmartem et chukotai ve'et mishpatai asher aseotam ha'adam v'chai behem. That is, you shall observe my decrees and my laws, which mankind shall carry out, and by which mankind shall live. Now, the idea here is that the decrees and the laws are a means towards the end of living. And so the rabbis take from this the idea that life is sacrosanct and ultimately is the goal of all mitzvot. And so if life is ever in danger, all other mitzvot can be abrogated in order to save a life. So for example, if it's the middle of Shabbat and someone falls down of a heart attack, even in the most observant of Orthodox communities, people will break Shabbat to drive that person in an ambulance or take them to the hospital. So I wanted to take this to further consideration that the Talmud gives it in Tractate Yoma. I'm going to be reading here, and they ask further questions about the different parameters for this idea of pikuach nefesh. So here in Yoma, which is a section about Yom Kippur, the questions begin about to what degree do you have to keep the mitzvot of Yom Kippur, especially in a time when life is in danger. And so it says, in the case of one who is seized with a life-threatening illness, one that causes unbearable hunger pangs and impaired vision, that the person feels as though they may die if they do not eat. Not only can this person eat on Yom Kippur, but you can even, according to Jewish law, feed them unkosher food, because life is most important. Similarly, this is why we ask people on Yom Kippur who are sick, or who are perhaps elderly or pregnant, not to fast on Yom Kippur, because life is prioritized. But how about if we aren't sure if the person's life is really in danger? I mean, this case of Yom Kippur they're giving is someone who feels as though they are about to die out of hunger. How about someone where they might be about to die, but we're not sure? The Talmud takes this up. It says, Rabbi Matya ben Harashash said, with regard to one who suffers pain in his throat, one may place medicine inside his mouth on Shabbat, although administering a remedy is prohibited on Shabbat. According to Jewish tradition, there are a number of mitzvot which are involved in the building of the temple and the sanctuary in the Torah, and any of those activities are forbidden during Shabbat. Well, here, the administering of medicine trying to solve something that way would traditionally be prohibited on Shabbat. But it says here that because there is uncertainty whether or not it is a life-threatening situation for him, as it is difficult to ascertain the severity of internal pain, and in the case of uncertainty concerning a life-threatening situation, you may once again break the mitzvot in deference to pikuach nefesh. So we know now that if someone's life is in danger, we can break all mitzvot to save it. And we also know that if someone's life might be in danger, we can break the mitzvot in order to save it. How about if we don't even know if the person's life is really in danger? Here we bring up another case about a rock slide falling. It says that if a rock slide is to fall and there is uncertainty if there is a person who is inside the debris or not, well, what can you do, especially if this is during Shabbat in which you're not allowed to dig? It says whether there is such uncertainty, whether the person is there, whether they are alive or dead, whether they're Jewish or non-Jewish, whatever is the case, you break Shabbat and you start digging to pull the person out from underneath the rubble. One may perform any action necessary to rescue a person or even to possibly rescue a person, even if we don't know that that person's life is in danger. So let's take this back now to our current situation. So you know you've been receiving plenty of communications from us here at the synagogue about which programs we are seeking to maintain and how we are hoping to set parameters and procedures here at the synagogue which will allow us to continue to foster Jewish community, but to do so in a safe way. In all of these manners, we are seeking to prioritize your safety and ultimately the security of the congregation going forward. We believe and support the ethic of Pikuach Nefesh, that your life is what matters most, and that all other mitzvot are secondary to that principle. And so while we prepare to enter into Shabbat and even celebrate a bat mitzvah this weekend and continue forward in supporting the community around us, we seek to do so always with the adherence of the principle of Pikuach Nefesh. And so we'll use this as our guiding principle going forward. Thank you for taking these minutes to study with me. I wish you a peaceful and less anxious, relaxing Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.